Hi everybody, this is Debbie from Deb's Thing, and I have a new design to show you. I'm calling this CUFFLET. It was previewed in part 2 of my introduction to my original design collection as 4II. And this turned out to be another favorite of mine. I'm probably going to say that a lot. But I really like the way this one turned out. And then I did it again in this color. Of course, I really like this color. I mean, this is an interesting color pattern. I wanted to just try something different. But I really love the way this one turned out. Now, there's a couple particular things when choosing bands for this. For the A color right here, up the middle, those are the clear jelly, and I've tried it with other color bands, and you lose the design pattern of the color underneath it, which is color B. Here it's glow in the dark, here it is that green. And then it also makes a nicer weave, if you will, when you use like the pink here and the purple here, if that's a jelly also, and that's the C color. And finally, D color is the neon orange here and the turquoise here. So, as I said, color A will be clear. Color B, the white or the glow in the dark, will be black. The purple will be jelly ocean blue, and the outside perimeter will be lime green. Make sure you have yourself a little clip on hand, your hook, possibly another hook like this. It's very inexpensive, and the smooth end is really great for pulling a tight bracelet off your loom. And you'll be using 4 bars in this setup. The 2 in the center are parallel, arrows facing that way, and then the 2 outer bars are 1 peg down. So we'll start out by placing 1 D band here, and that will be the only D band I place for a while. Then we're going to go up the center with your color A. Just quickly, just push them down as you go if you want. Push them down later. But you're going to want to make room for the other bands as we go along. Just put a bunch of lotion on my hands. Now I'm all slippery. Especially these jellies, they're definitely harder to pick up than the opaque colored bands. And I just trimmed my nails, so I don't even have anything to grab with. Alright, but we will power through and we will make this happen. Okay. I will present this in several stages as I do most of my videos, since there will be several tedious band placements. Not tedious, but redundant. Oops, that one got all twisted. So there's really no need to just have the video roll on and on when we're seeing the same thing like we just did for these 2. Anyways, those are done. That was simple. Now we are going to take your color B, which here is black, and you're going to place them in a triangle shape with the 2 posts here and the 1 post here all the way up on each side. So I'll show you 3 on that side, and you'll go all the way up to the very last triangle.
and then you will do the same on this side.
Okay,
So here we have
the loom with your color B black triangles. Now the next step
is to take your C color, which I'm using a jelly, and you're going to be making triangles the opposite way, kind of in between these little spaces where the peak of the black triangle is. So you'll just go up each side
all the way till the
last one, which will be right here, and you will do the same on this side. Very good. I'll see you in a bit.
This is what your loom will look like with your second set of triangle bands placed. Now the next part is a little tricky, and as I was sitting back making all my designs, I thought I came up with this clever band placement, and a couple months later I went online to see what everyone was doing, and I saw that somebody was using this and placing bands on their monster hook. So, not any more clever than the next person,
but it does make this design interesting, I think. Okay, we're going to go up the middle. We'll be using our D color.
you're going to want to stretch it out
A little bit first, because you'll be first placing it diagonally like this, and I use my fingers like this. Other people I've seen do this band placement
use a hook the whole way through, and
I'm just not that talented. So you're going to take this side, and you can use your fingers to hold the band in place, and whoops, like I said, use your fingers to hold the bands in place so it doesn't pop off like that.
and you'll see the little A design.
Now you're going to take this band right here, the one that's like this one right here. You're going to reach and pull it. Okay, you hold it, twist it, and then twist it over that peg there.
And now you're going to take this and twist it and lay it over.
I will do this a couple more times because I know it's hard to see from this angle. Stretch it apart so that it's not so tight.
You place it diagonally.
It doesn't really matter which direction, I think, as long as you do it consistently all the way up the loom. You take this bottom end and bring it over to this top corner peg.
You grab this other one, you're going to twist it around this post, and then you take this one and you twist it around
that post. You can pretty much do it with one finger, but I think you were able to see it a little better. Do it one more time. Nice and slowly pull the bottom band over this top corner peg. Reach over here. Twist it around and then wrap it around this bottom post peg. And this is going to get a little tight, so you want to make sure your loom stays intact. Then you're going to
grab this one.
Oops. Be careful. As you see, it likes to fall off. Especially on this one, you really need
To keep your fingers on.
these posts because it'll be sure to. So you're going to take it,
Twist it and then drop it there. So I will let you go all the way up to the very last pegs, and then we will proceed on to the next step of band placement. Hopefully that step was not too difficult for you. I did find though, as I made bracelets using this banding method, it helps after a while your fingertips become a little calloused. It's a little less painful. So there you have it, all the way up to the end. And we will continue using our decolored bands, and if you need to push down any of the bands that are high up, get them out of the way, go ahead and do that. And we will be doing the same thing on both sides. We will be placing one here, and then we will be going all the way up all the way to here, and then a final one to this post. Okay, and then you will come back and do the other side. Now you do not want to stretch these bands. Just place them straight from your bag all the way up to here, and then your final band here. Before I continue on, I just wanted to show you something in case you noticed it yourself and were wondering. These are the Rainbow Loom bands, and for the most part they are absolutely the best bands out there. The other ones I've tried are horrible, but every once in a while you'll get one that, if you see right here, it's really, really thin, so when you stretch out it almost looks like it's going to break. I just break those open. Look how easy that went, and just toss those. You definitely don't want to put those on your loom, because you are very likely going to have a busted bracelet and have to start all over. So, oops. Okay, this is how it looks with the decolor up the side. So the last step before starting to loop them back is to place the cap on the end of these two pegs. I always do it like this. Put the band around once and then loop it once. Spread it out. Place it over one side. Hold your finger on top of it so it doesn't pop off, and then place it on the other side. Feel free to, excuse my arm there, to do it like this if it's easier for you. And you double it and then stretch it out and place it over the two posts. So now we will turn it around so that our cap is closest to us. And we will start by reaching under the cap, taking the green on each side and just pulling those into place on either side. Then the C-colored triangles, which are the blue right here, you're going to reach down through the green. Make sure you don't have any green on the inside. Grab that corner of the triangle and bring both sides, bring the band over both pegs at its base. Reach past the green, reach for the blue, and bring it over to the two base posts. And you're going to go all the way up this side. Do all those, and then do them all the way up this side. I'll do a couple on this side so that you can see it's exactly the same, except on the opposing side. I'll be back to show you the next looping step.
Hi, I'm jumping back in here to show you something that I just went through and help you guide you through it if it happens. When I went to pull this out from in here, it slipped out, so how do you get it back? Well, you're going to first try to go in and get it. Go past the two green, try to grab the blue, not the black, which is really hard to do, so you can take these two off. I'll show you how to get those back on. Grab your blue, pull it back over, and turn it the way you're looking at it when you're actually placing the bands with the arrows away from you. And so now this one we have to put back on this post, so we're just going to reach and twist that one. And then we have this one that needs replacing right here. So you just use your hook to grab it and twist it around. Spin it back around and try again. And I've found that when you lose a band like that, sometimes you just have to take your bracelet apart a little and, you know, turn it this way, figure out how they went, place them, and then continue. Sometimes it's worked for me, sometimes I've had to start all over. So anyways, I'm going to get back to looping the blues and show you how to do the blacks next. The looping back of the next color is the same, except that you're going to be alternating with looping up the sides. So, scratch here. You're going to start by reaching all the way down. The B color, or the black, is on the very bottom. And then you're going to do the same, but stretch it this way over these two posts. Now, it's really hard to figure out where the, see the greens that go up here? You're going to want to make sure you reach down and get that, because it's not on the bottom. So the blue is underneath it, but that's okay, the blue has already been secured. So I found that if you grab that little green guy, if you kind of have it out, you can kind of see where it is, so you reach past the colors above it, grab just it. This is the hardest post to do, the other ones are much easier. So make sure you don't grab the blue, just see it. It's pretty tight. You can do this if you need to hold it out of the way. There it is. And bring it above. Then we're going to go reach down, get the next black triangle, and bring it across its two base pegs. Now this one's a little easier. The top blue triangle there's just that one little band, and you can just reach in there, grab your D edge color and bring it forward. I'll show it a couple more times. Oops. Make sure you don't miss any, because that messes things up. Reach all the way down, grab the black, bring around the two base posts or pegs, reach to the second band, which is your green, and you can see it move as you pull it up. And you're going to do that all the way up to this final black triangle on that side, and then you're going to do it on this side, and I'll show it real quick on this side. Just grab the, almost forgot to grab the black. Then if you need to pull up, hold it off to the side so you can see where your hook is going, it's much easier to see that green band and pull it up. Reach inside, grab the black and bring it over the two base pegs, and then just reach past that top band and grab the green edge and
place it on the next peg up.
I'm going to do it one more time just to make sure I had it centered on the screen. Reach down, grab the black, loop it over the two base pegs, and then reach past this first band on the top there. That second one is the green. You'll see it move as you pull it forward. Okay, and do that all the way up
to the very last triangles, and I'll be back to show you how to finish it off.
Thank goodness we have the off button for the camera.
While you were finishing that looping series, I so excited I turned the camera back on and showed you how to finish this up and proceeded to put the extension on and take my bracelet off, and I had forgotten, yes, I realized that our little A bands underneath, those clear ones, out of sight, out of mind, as the saying may go. But before we do that, in case any of you had a little trouble with the end, I want to show you the last step here, and that is, of course, like I said, reach under, get your black band and place over the last two posts, and instead of having to reach right like in here to get the green band, it's this right here. Probably was really obvious to you, but just in case, I wanted to clarify this. Okay, so now we're done with the black and the green. Another thing I noticed when I was reworking this is I forget sometimes that especially on a complex pattern like this, you go all the way up one side and then you go do something all the other side, and halfway through you mess up on this side, and the only way to fix it is to undo the post on this side. Well, if you've looped them all the way up to the top, you've got to kind of try to back yourself out so you can get to a spot. I'm sure you'll run across that on occasion while you're making your bands, and it's not fun. So, back to the last looping, which is reaching under, grabbing clear, going through all those bands, pulling them all back. You see that clear one, or you don't see it, but just assume it's there. And you're just going to do that up, all the way up each side. And this one, you don't have to go back and forth. You can just go straight up each row and maybe just press your bar back together, as you do want to come a little loose here because it is pretty tight. Okay, let me finish my clear bands and we will then put our extension bands on. Now we are ready to start on the extension. Here's the loom, all looped. Now instead of having to transfer all of the bands from one post to the other so that we can, do the whole one band through to start the extension, that's why I like to place the band
either doubly across, or if everything is coming to a point, just to lay a single band underneath. It just makes it a lot easier. So we're going to reach under and pull this band out. Temporarily hold it with your fingers and grab the other, and then drop that on like that. Now this is the hardest part, the starting loops. I have a 6 1/4 inch wrist, and I was telling everybody on my other videos that I used 4 bands on each side because I like my clip in the middle. Well, and this would be band number 1, and the cap is band number 1 on the other side. But on some designs, that's a little snug, and I realized I will be sharing these with other people, so I'm placing 5 bands on each side. So this one, because the bands are kind of tight, you slip it under like this, turn the hook right side up, drop the other half of the band, turn the hook upside down, like this, grab a band, leaving this slack, gently pull it through those 2 loops, turn it around, and we keep repeating until we either put all the bands on one side, or if you choose to do it like myself, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, this will be my 5th one on this side. And so, to ensure that my bracelet doesn't fall apart, okay, here's my clip. I lost my clip. Grab another clip. Be sure I fit around here. I like to stretch sorry about that. Stretch this open. It's nice and taut. Hold the clip so that the opening is up, and then it just pops on really easily. Now I like to release the bracelet gently. So I'll start with the sides, and if it's easy enough, it's much easier and quicker just to grab your grab it with your fingers. And now it's pretty tight here because of those middle green bands, and this is where I take the other half, the smooth half of a very inexpensive crochet hook, reach into the center of each post and gently pull it off. It takes a little bit longer and isn't as dramatic as like ripping it all off, but it prevents the possibility of a band snapping and ruining the bracelet, and it keeps the, I think it keeps the design more intact. Usually the last row is a little bit easier, and sometimes you can get away with pulling it off. Oops, I want to put that away. Okay, so here you have it. Sometimes bands are a little these blue are not as tight as the purple and pink were, so you don't see the green sticking out as much, but it's still very pretty. And now I will show you how to finish off the extension. We're going to have the other side where we have the cap as one of the extensions. So I'll place 4 bands, so I will have a total of 5 bands on this side. And we do that with the arrows pointing towards us. So there's 4 bands.
lace
the cap over, reach down, and quickly, simply loop your extension like that. Pull the bands off, keeping the last one on.
reach around, grab your clip with the opening
Upright, stretch those bands out so that it's easy to pop on the clip, and there you have my circlet bracelet.
If you enjoyed this video and like this design, feel free to give me a thumbs up on the like it link, share it with your friends, and if you'd like to see more of my designs, make sure to subscribe to Deb's Thing. Thank you so much for watching.